Welcome guys to my video series best game of the day. Today I'm bringing you my own game against Alexandra Kosteniuk, a former world champion. This game I played it with her in a chess.com Title Tuesday event, and I myself was very impressed with the incredible tactic that I managed to find in only 3 minutes. So we will be jumping into the game right away, and the opening was very typical, a classical Sicilian. And against the classical Sicilian, on my own experience, the best move and the most active is definitely bishop g5. So for those of you who don't know what to play against the classical Sicilian, you should look into bishop g5. Black continues with e6, then queen d2. This is all normal, and castle. Then black goes with the move h6. This move is modern, is very interesting, and is becoming more and more popular in the last years. The idea is that white have to take on the knight, because a move like bishop h4 could be answered by knight takes pawn, making this position very complex. So you can also do knight takes knight, pawn takes, and bishop f4, and this is a very good position for white, and the one that you will find more games with on the database. I decided to go with a kind of a sideline, but it's a line that is giving me a lot of good results in tournaments and blitz games, because people don't really understand what's happening. So you give up the bishop for the knight with the idea of speeding up your attack on the king side. So obviously black have to take with the queen. That was the whole point of playing h6. G takes f6 wouldn't work, because then you get the double pawns. Then why do you play h6? The idea is to take with the queen and keep the pawn structure intact. Then black goes knight takes knight, pawn takes c6, and you notice that I don't want to trade queens, that's why I took the knight. But you notice how my development is way more advanced than black development, and that's where I'm going for. Now I play f4, taking over the space. A move like d5 that is answered by bishop c4. Then this bishop gets to b3. This is the other big idea on this position. Actually, sorry, bishop c4 is bad in here. The move is d5 is a big mistake, and you'll see why later. The idea is to pass this bishop to c4 so that the bishop gets to b3, and then I can block the b file. That b file is the only way for black to create initiative, so that is what I like about this position. It feels like I'm just pushing my pawns while black is doing nothing, and is very under development. So Alexandra tries the move g5, which makes sense, trying to trade queens. Well, I do not want to trade queens, because an endgame here will be bad for me. I want to keep my initiative, so I want to keep my queens. So d5, a move that makes sense. Black cannot play bishop g7, because what happened? Well, this pawn is hanging. You cannot play any other move that develops, because I can make a move like e5, follow up with knight e4, and white is very good. So she tries d5, which makes sense, trying to go bishop g7, getting the diagonal and castling short, getting out of the center, and she has a lot of space. But the problem is the pawn takes pawn, with the idea of boom, knight takes d5, and now this is gonna be completely crashing for black. Now it looks, when you look at the position, that after pawn takes knight, queen takes d5, this happened in the game, it's all forced. You cannot ignore the knight and go back to d8, because I win the exchange, or the queen with this beautiful move queen c3 is horrible for black. So you are forced to take with the pawn takes knight, and now queen takes pawn, forcing the rook to move. You have to move the rook either to b8 or to a7. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter what you do with the rook. The next move is coming no matter what, and that is the incredible move bishop b5, and Alexandra resigned on this position. Can you believe it? Only 16 moves. I probably spent about 2 minutes at this point on the game, but she spent 1 minute on making the move rook b8, And while she was thinking, I thought about playing bishop b5. So I made the move bishop b5 instantly after she played rook b8. And she instantly, I think she thought for a couple of seconds, but she resigned. It was a very, very amazing game. And it was picked the best game of the month on chess.com. The biggest thing here is that it doesn't matter what do you take with. Rook takes bishop, for example. I go rook e1, and then now I'm bringing the other rook into the game. And the most beautiful part of this game, that it never got there, but it could have got there, is that no matter what you use to block this check, you will get mated on the next move. For example, queen e7, queen d8 mate. The pin, right? If you play bishop e7, the same thing happened. If you play bishop e6, the same thing happened, but on d7. I hope you guys enjoyed the game, and I will see you next time for another best game of the day tutorial.